Hi, in starting a YouTube channel, I wanted to start doing a channel that I actually had a real interest in, because to me, unless you're doing a channel that you actually have a passion about, then it won't be interesting to other people unless you really love what you're doing. So my favorite thing is fashion, art, and shopping. And I love to travel around the world, and I've been to about 48 countries over the last 15 years. Right before the pandemic, I actually went to Africa for a while, and I did a photographic safari, which was absolutely fantastic. And I documented everything. I took lots of photos and thought, that is something that I really want to stick with, is doing photography for animals. I did study photography, and I've been doing it for many years of my life, but I did mostly landscaping photography, portrait photography. And I said to myself, this is something that I'm really passionate about. So I got involved in starting possibly a YouTube channel on photography. And I said to myself, well, between photojournalism, fashion, and things that I really like to do in the world, this is something that would really interest me. However, the thing that most people don't really talk about, which I think is something that really has affected my life in the last 4 years, is the state of people in mental health. I'm not talking just because it was a pandemic and a lot of people have gone depressed or had some issues due to financial issues, family issues, health issues. I think mental health is a big, wide variety of subjects that people don't always like to talk about, especially on a YouTube channel. Well, for me, I decided, let's do fashion. Let's show everybody how I have such beautiful clothes, beautiful shoes. I've traveled the world. I live a great life. I have a beautiful home. But the one thing that I don't talk about that often with family, friends, people I work out with Pilates, is the state of mental health that I think that I need to talk about more. When I first moved here from New York City to Florida, I thought I was going to have the best life. I bought a beautiful home in Boca Raton. I was living my dream of actually having a house with a pool. I thought, this is what I wanted. I wanted to live in a warm weather climate all year round, and I just wanted to live in a place where I felt that I can actually have the best of both worlds. I was going to live in Florida, and I was going to go back to New York City and Westchester and New Jersey and visit my family 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. Well, that was great. I settled in Florida. I had some friends down here already, and I said, this is going to be great. I'll just continue my life the way it was in New York, with traveling and and exploring my life, visiting friends down here for 2-3 weeks at a time, and then going back to New York. It was always something that I did when I lived in New York. When I moved to Florida, I didn't do that for a while. I did go back and forth, and I just loved it because I had the warm weather all year round here, and I had my friends and family in New York. Well, that was great for a while, for about a year and a half. And I also went to Europe and did my yearly trip to London and went to Zurich. We did that every year. So I did that, and then all of a sudden everything came to a stop during the pandemic. So in the course of me being in this lifestyle that I always wanted, I didn't know how to handle being totally stuck here in Florida. I mean, most people would think stuck here in Florida, oh, how poor me. However, I have elderly parents that live in New Jersey. And, I said to myself, it's really pretty scary and sad that, we're locked down, they're locked down. I got parents who are in their 80s, and you know what? I can't go anywhere. What do I do? Well, the problem is that being locked down in Florida was, okay, it was only a couple months, but everywhere else was locked down, so it wasn't a very good thing to do, is to get on a plane and travel, where everybody was worried about catching COVID. People were wondering when they were going to get their vaccines. And so I stayed in Florida. I spent a lot of time sitting by my pool. I did a lot of things by talking to friends in New York every day. Made sure that my parents were taken care of. I ordered in food for them from Instacart. Just checking up on them to make sure they were okay every day. But after a while, day in and day out of this, where, for a while here, even our beaches were closed, so we couldn't even walk on a beach. I started to realize that my mental health was really starting to go downhill. I started to feel really depressed every day. I wasn't doing my travel. I wasn't seeing my friends and family. I felt like I was on a state of decline, and I just couldn't figure out how to get myself out of this. It was hard enough when I first moved here to settle into a new life. I came from New York City, living in, a big city, Central Park West, Upper West Side, to becoming somebody who lived in Florida, sort of in like a suburban type of lifestyle. And, and now I'm locked down. So I said to myself, this is really not good. I started to suffer like severe depression. I couldn't see my friends and family. I just didn't know what to do with myself every day. The lifestyle that I always had suddenly seemed to, fall apart. Not just for me, for many people. And it wasn't just about, okay, oh, well, she can't travel, she can't see her friends and family. Business-wise, financial-wise, my partner being his own business as an international tax attorney, started to see business go down a bit. People were locked down overseas, people weren't working, people weren't making money a lot. And so really, honestly, it just was really becoming really, really bad. So, I had to sit there and think about the things that would make me happy, to at least try to pull myself out of it a little bit. And the one thing that I always knew that made me happy is when I was feeling active, when I started to work out a lot, when I started to feel good about myself, and mentally and physically, eating healthy, eating right. And so I started to get myself back out there again, started to doing a lot of walking, started to go on my Peloton bike, and I signed up for Club Pilates. Now, when I started up for Club Pilates, we're in the heart of a pandemic. Thank God there was a place to go every day that was actually open. We had to wear a mask when you walked in. We got into our reformers. Everybody was 6 feet apart. We had to wipe down, our reformers after each class. And I gotta tell you, I really honestly think it saved my life. I was in such a severe depression because I just didn't know how to channel all this pent-up anxiety that I was having every day of, being a very active person and not being able to do a lot, and feeling very confined, feeling just depressed, not being able to see my family, to seeing my niece and nephew, who I love very much, up in Westchester, New York. And so I started to do Pilates every day. And I would go 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week. And I would take a class for 50 minutes those days. And I gotta tell you, I honestly believe to this day, even now, you know, without the pandemic being the height of a pandemic, that we are in right now, I gotta tell you, I think it really saved my life. I think it mentally gave me not only a place to go every day, but it relieved my anxiety and my stress. It made me feel better about myself. I started to feel alive again. I started to feel motivated again. And I started to feel a little bit about me again. I started to come alive again. And I think it's really important that when you're feeling this way, I mean, of course, people look at you. I mean, I have people that think I live like the most perfect life there could be in this world. I mean, what do you have to be depressed about? You live in a beautiful home. You live in Boca Raton, Florida. You travel. You seem to have beautiful clothes. You dress nice. You look fashionable all the time. And you seem to live a really great life. And yeah, I do live a nice life. Not all the time. But I do have, a lot of things that do bother me. And, mentally, what I feel on the outside doesn't always equate to what I feel on the inside. And I think it was a very, very, very big adjustment to moving from New York City here. And I think that took a lot of my anxiety. That was a big deal for me, because 4 years later, I don't feel like I've adjusted. It's a different way of life here. People are different. I know a lot of people from New York live here, but I feel like it's a very different lifestyle here, and I miss my friends and family back at home. So, I'm gonna try to find things every week, or do things, or go out there and promote things, or dress up nice every day, or just do things to make myself feel better, and to let people know that there are things that you can do. Exercise is very important. Staying on a good diet, taking care of yourself, and doing things, getting back to the things that actually make you happy. Because I gotta tell you something, for those few years, when the pandemic first came out, I completely shut down, and I just stopped doing the things that I really enjoyed doing. So my name is Sue. I like to do some videos every week to let people know what they can do to make themselves feel better, my story about my anxieties and how I cope with it, and just let people know there are things in this world that you can do. You can get out of this depression. It will happen. You just got to stay focused in life, and you got to do things that you feel that are going to make you feel better. Now, exercise, like I said, is very important. So I hope you will tune into my channel every week, and I'll take you to different locations. I'll take you to different places in South Florida. I'll take you overseas with me when I get back to my travel. I'm just rediscovering who I am again as a person since I moved here from New York and had to change my lifestyle. Granted, of course, it's a beautiful lifestyle, but I felt depressed. I couldn't get used to living here after being away from everything I've ever known in New York. And yes, I did travel, but my heart still was in New York. So I'm going to try to see how things go for me over the next few months, and see if I can start to make myself get out of this depression that I feel like I've been in for a while. And it has been a challenge, but Pilates, I got to tell you something. I met the greatest people in Pilates. Club Pilates is absolutely amazing. The instructors are amazing. The classes are amazing. And it's something that I enjoy doing every day. And mentally, it's starting to really show. that I'm starting to come back to myself. So if you feel depressed or you want to look, learn how to, explore options that make you feel better, stick with me in my channel. I hope to see you again very soon, and let's explore this together, and hopefully we'll have a good year in 2023, and things will get better for everybody. Thanks for listening to my channel, and I'll talk to you again soon.